Hey everybody, how you doing? Al Smith here with the Career Lounge. Thanks so much for joining me again today. And I wanted to try something different, so I pulled out a little video, and I definitely look forward to doing this a little bit more often rather than just typing in a blog post. But I wanted to talk with you on video in particular because I recently had a conversation with one of my coworkers that really got me thinking. A couple weeks ago, I was just having a casual conversation with one of my coworkers, and somehow, I don't remember how it happened, my book project came up, and I told him how excited I was, and I can't wait for this project to be finished. It was really fulfilling. The entire process I was enjoying, and I told him the book should be out around the middle of the year, and he was really excited about it, and I remember he said, "Wow, Al, you seem to be pretty passionate about this, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, of course. I mean, I've been working on this project for over a year, and the research, everything. I'm loving this." And I rambled on and on a little bit more, telling him about the project. And then it got me thinking. So I posed a question to him. I said, "Okay, so I told you about what I'm loving. What are you passionate about? What excites you?" And he seemed to be surprised by the question, but once I posed it to him, he kind of perked up a little bit. He leaned forward in his chair, and then he started going through this long, intense, and informative conversation about health and wellness. Now, I'm in the insurance industry, so to hear one of my coworkers go on and on about health and wellness, it kind of caught me off guard, right? But nonetheless, he was really excited about it. And it got me thinking, wow, I'd rarely seen this guy raise his voice. He's a very mild-mannered guy, and for him to really get into that conversation, I mean, it really meant a lot to him, that topic. And it really got me to thinking, what if his work got him just as excited as his passion about health and wellness? You know, how much happier would he be as an employee? Moreover, how much happier would he be as a person? How much more engaged would he be in his work? You know, all these questions were going through my head, and I was really thinking he'd probably produce a higher quality of work and be more fulfilled by it, right? And you know, it really got me thinking because I feel strongly about this. You know, I hate to see people in jobs and careers that they're just not fulfilled by. And I was there before. You know, I've worked sales jobs most of my life, and I've worked some pretty tough, crappy sales jobs where I was just chasing the money. That was it. I'm better now, but it was miserable. It really was miserable. And it wasn't until I spoke with one of my career advisors, and she's my career counselor, who kind of helped me walk through it. She said, "Al, you have to figure out, what do you love? What do you love doing? And then figure out how you can make money from it, right? How can you be compensated for it?" So there were a couple things that I considered in my path to figure out what I love doing. She said, first, figure out, what do you love? What gives you excitement and pleasure, right? What do you do when you're not working? What do you always do when you're not working? And that's probably the area that you're passionate about, where you can be most fulfilled. And then she said, you got to really figure out, how can you make money with it? You know, what type of jobs will pay you to do that type of work? Because there's probably a job out there that will allow you to do it. And finally, she said, then you have to have a real conversation with yourself and figure out, once you determine what you're passionate about, once you determine the jobs or the career paths that are available in that area, then you got to figure out how you can get there, right? Do you need additional schooling? Do you need to get additional education? Is there specialized training available that you can take to pursue that path? But those were the three things that she encouraged me to do, and I definitely did that, and I've been much more fulfilled with my current career. I mean, this is something that's important because the Gallup polling organization estimate 55% of Americans are unfulfilled and unengaged by the work that they do. And that's a big statistic, right? So I would encourage you. I actually have some resources right underneath the video. Take a look at those resources and links of some partners that I was working with. I recommend you use those as a starting point for you to brainstorm what opportunities are out there and what different fields are out there. But until next time, thank you so much for joining me here at the Career Lounge, and I will see you next week. Have a good one.